everyone at some point or another can relate to that feeling of just needing to get your life in order. So today I'm going to share some simple tips on how to embrace more organization in your life, not just in terms of your physical environment, but also your mental one. Before I dive in though, I do want to say a huge thank you to Milanote for sponsoring today's video. Milanote is an easy to use tool for organizing creative projects, and it has made my process of creating content so much more fun and efficient. Anytime I find a new organization tool, I just can't help but share it with all of you. So I'm excited to talk more about them a little bit later on in today's video. Stay tuned for that. But for now though, let's get into tip number 1. Taking time to organize physical spaces in your home, like your office or your pantry, is pretty like, yeah, duh, of course that would add more organization to your life. But I wanted to take it a step further and share with you something that I do that I think makes the organization more beneficial, and that's a 10-minute tidy. A daily 10-minute tidy where I go around and I just basically put everything back where it's supposed to go. 10 minutes a day is short enough that you can really fit it into anywhere in your schedule, but it's actually long enough to get quite a bit done so that your weekly cleaning sessions or your bi-weekly, however often like you do a full clean of your place, isn't as intimidating. It is fitting that we are in my office right now because this is the room that needs a little bit of a 10-minute tidy. I've got things over there and things over there. Let me get up here. There's notebooks out of place, loose paper, a mask, and some storage organizers that need to be put away. These books do not belong here. They need to be put away. I got scrap paper from bullet journaling. These photos I actually just recently took off of that corkboard situation. I took them off the corkboards because I'm in the process of trying to figure out a new organizing situation for this office, which I am going to document. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future organizing videos. But like little things like this that you just leave to deal with later, and then like papers over here, and then this and this, it all adds up. So individually it's not a big deal, but if I don't deal with it, then it becomes a bigger deal. I finished with time to spare. Cleaned up the books, cleaned up this area. The pile of receipts is gonna be a 10-minute tidy for another day. This is all clear. I put some of the tech back in the tech drawer. It's actually kind of crazy what 10 minutes can do. So you can imagine that if you did that every day, it would really add up and make cleaning a lot less overwhelming. So if you're not already, try a 10-minute tidy. It keeps the place from getting too cluttered, and I find that a lot more peaceful of a place to operate in. Because I am a content creator, I feel like one of the most common questions I get is about how I collect inspiration, and a technique that really works for me is creating vision boards or mood boards. I'm such a big fan that I have a whole door of images just to keep me going. They're great for life inspiration, but they're also great for guiding my content, especially now that I do a lot more batch work in terms of my blog posts, Instagram captions, video outlines. So mood boards have been just instrumental in providing me a lot of ideas quickly. The reason I'm in front of my computer right now is because a new tool that I've been using lately that has made this process super simple for me is a tool called Milanote, which is also today's sponsor. I'm going to take you through the process of creating a mood board for a video that I want to film, which is an update meal prep video, because I've been getting a lot of requests for that. Here is my current workstation. I've got some feel-good images, my blog linked, lots of fun stuff if I do say so myself. I need to create a new board, so I'm just gonna go to the left side and click board, drag it. When I click into a new board, it's blank, but you also have the option to choose a template. And Milanote actually has different types of mood board templates, as you can see on the screen right here, that you can choose from. But I'm gonna use a blank board today. I'm gonna drag a column into here, title it previous meal prep video, and I'm going to put a link to my previous meal prep so that I can easily reference it, and also add a to-do list list that is actually gonna be a do not repeat recipes list. I think we can all agree that every good mood board needs photos. I'm just gonna scroll through their built-in image search bar and look up for different things like healthy. I'm gonna take off their captions, do some rearrange in here. You can also add in your own images. So I'm gonna add a larger photo of my previous meal prep and then drag it right in. I'm gonna put a line here, connecting these two together. There's also an extension you can add to your web browser called the Milanote Web Clipper, and that allows you to add images in from Pinterest and other places on the web even more efficiently, since you don't have to keep going back to your Milanote board to paste things in. When I return to Milanote, the images are ready to be dragged and dropped in. What I love most about creating a mood board in Milanote is the ability to group ideas together and then use that as a starting point for a new project outline. I'm going to add a new board within my mood board, and this will be my meal prep outline. I can also create another board for the filming schedule so I know which recipes I need to start cooking first. I'm using Milanote for work, but you could also use it for interior decor projects, goal setting, event planning, and really so much more. So if you want to try it out yourself and see how easy it is to use, sign up for a free account by clicking the link in the description box below. Not sure why, but sitting on the floor is just so enjoyable. I'm sure you guys are familiar with seeing my my bullet journal Harlow here. As far as journals go, I find her pretty sexy. I know I often show myself creating spreads that are more, you know, geared towards keeping track of appointments and deadlines, but I also like using this to get down my thoughts and really process my feelings. Life moves so fast, and I feel like if you're not intentionally taking time to really work through your brain, there's a lot that can go unnoticed, and it also just feels good. It feels like talking to someone when you write in your journal. If you like the idea of journaling but the thought of just writing whatever on paper is kind of not your jam, then let me give you some other options. These are two like fill-in journals that I really love. I've talked a lot about this one, the 5-minute journal. This is a gratitude journal. There's morning prompts and night prompts, and really the name says it itself, it just takes like 5 minutes to fill in, but really good. Gratitude in general, taking time to think about things you're grateful for, is such a powerful thing. And then there's also this one, the Q&A a day journal. You answer a different question every day, and it's a 5-year journal, so you're able to like compare and contrast your answers to the same questions for 5 years if you stay committed to it that long. There's so many great prompts in here. Do you handle rejection well? Who do you count on? What new word have you learned? Who is the last person in your missed calls? There's some deeper ones and some just like for fun ones. Whether you're into any or all of these options, it's just a really great opportunity to check in. My next tip is related to money, although I think I could really dive into the importance of budgeting and, you know, having a savings formula, which I kind of go into in more depth in my money management video. It'll be linked down below. But a simple step forward that you can start doing immediately is to be regularly checking in with your finances. For me, that looks like every 2 to 3 days logging into my online banking app and seeing, you know, where money has gone. Things like subscriptions that you don't often think about when you are just living your life. You're like, oh, I didn't spend any money this week. But then you log on and you're like, oh yes, I did spend money this week. I just didn't know it. Doing that allows you to see the reality of what you're spending and make changes, you know, immediately. So it's like, oh, this week was a bit heavy. I know right away this week or the next week I'm going to, you know, cut back on a few things just to balance things out. The last thing that you're going to want to do is wait till the end of the month once your credit card bill might be due, or, you know, you have other expenses coming due, and be surprised. So this takes the shock out of it because you're constantly aware of what's going down. If you're anything like me and you spend a disgusting amount of time on devices every day, for that reason, I always think it's a great idea to go into your phone, to your laptop, to whatever devices that you have, and just like get rid of things that you don't need anymore. One thing I always have to pay attention to on my phone is my camera app or my photos app, because I take photos of everything. I treat photos like sticky notes on a wall. If I see a book at the bookstore that I think maybe one day I might want to read, I take a picture of it. If I see a cool font, I'm like, ooh, let me take a picture of that. And the screenshots too. I am a screenshot addict. Do I ever go back to look at the screenshots I take? Never. And yet I keep taking them. Again, I do have a whole video on digital decluttering, so if you want specific tips, that's worth checking out. But when we're talking digital declutter, don't forget your social media accounts either. Unfollow people that just don't serve you anymore. Don't fill your feed with things that make you feel bad. We spend a lot of time on social media, so you want to make sure that when you're scrolling through feeds, you're at least getting some inspiration or feel good vibes. I have to show off my little reminder station that's in my kitchen. This is a whiteboard that I just have on here that is also conveniently covering whatever this mark is on my fridge. Oh look, it disappeared. But I use this board to keep track of things like items I ran out of, white vinegar, pizza sauce, reminders before I head out the door. And most importantly, my watering schedule for my plant babies. I've got a snake plant, a money plant, an aloe plant, and a succulent. These are the dates I last watered them, so I can always reference back whenever I feel like the dirt's getting a little dry. I spiced up my board with some craft paper headings because I'm weirdly addicted to craft paper right now. But I think having like a whiteboard or even something like a cork board like I do in my office, both are great methods of keeping track of all the things that the brain just can't keep track of. It looks so cute over there. I love it. Routines truly are to me just chef's kiss. I have morning routines, night routines, reading routines. You've seen them all on the channel. And as unexciting as they may sound, I feel like routines are exciting in the fact that they are easy ways to slip in healthy habits. So for me, working out is something that if I don't do in the morning, I will not do it at all. Things even like checking the dishwasher before I go to bed is something I do every night. And by doing that, it means if the dishwasher is full, it will be run at night, not during the day, so that the noise doesn't interrupt videos. In the morning, after I do my skincare, that is the time that I will unload the dishwasher if I ran it the night before. And that means at all points of the day, if you come to my apartment, there probably is a clean plate, fork, knife, spoon for your coffee ready for you. There's nothing that feels more wrong than having to stir your coffee with a knife because you've run out of spoons, which is a common occurrence for me if I don't regularly run the dishwasher, so I need that system in place. Thank you again to Milanote for sponsoring today's video. As you saw earlier in the video, in addition to Milanote being a really useful organizing tool, it is also really fun to use and has this beautiful interface, so don't forget to click that link in the description box below so that you can start playing around with it for yourself. Leave your favorite life organization tip in the comments if you have one. You know, spread the helpfulness. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all very soon with a new video. Until then, bye everyone.